Hey guys, I'm sorry I haven't posted in a pretty long time. There's been a lot of bad things going on and happening, and this video was just to explain one of those horrible things, the worst of them all. And excuse the weird noises in the background. I currently have my dog next to me, and my little brother will not stop screaming. I also have to be pretty quiet about this, otherwise no more Roblox videos, because my mom might take it away from me just for my safety or something. But anyways, this story starts with a guy, let's call him Boom. Boom is, he told me he is 14 years old, and by the way, he is really, really creepy, freaky. I don't mean to make this funny at all. Please stay serious despite what I'm about to say in this video. And so I'll start. But first, here is a picture of how our chat first started. I saw his username and decided to troll him because his display name said, "Looking for hot romance," and that's why I wanted to troll him and get him banned for having that name. As soon as I started texting him on this game on Roblox called Friend Me, which is almost similar to Tinder, which is a real-life dating app on the Apple Store. I'm sure you know what it is, but it's where you swipe and online date people. A lot of bad things have happened to my mom because of it. Anyways, I started to get bored, and I said goodbye and started to play with my friends in Creatures of Sonoria. If you don't know how to play it, I'm not going to explain everything to you, because this is not a tutorial video, but there is one thing I need to tell you if you don't know what it is. So there is this thing in Creatures of Sonoria where your creature or alien can be a female and can nest others as the same creature, and you can let other players be your kids, and it's really fun. And so he started texting me out of a game saying, "Hey, can we play together or talk together? I'm kind of bored and lonely. No one will talk to me," it read. So, of course, as a nice person would, I said, "Yeah," and left the game just to talk with him. We talked for a while, talking about normal innocent stuff, and I was like, "Hey, why don't you join me and my friends in Creatures of Sonoria?" And he didn't know what it was, so I explained to him and said, "Maybe I can nest you in the game." And then he said, "You mean like sit on me?" And I was like, "No!" I screamed no, and started laughing. We both laughed. And I explained it to him, and then out of nowhere, he mentioned it and said, "Hey, I have a question." I was like, "Yeah?" He said, "Remember you screamed no to my question earlier?" I said, "Yeah, what about it?" He said, "So I'm guessing you're not much of a freaky person, right?" Of course, I said yes to that question. And then he was like, "You sure you never get freaky?" I was like, "Yeah, never. Why are you asking?" He said, "Well, I'm just really, really freaky." And I was like, okay, and started laughing because most of my friends joke about it often, and I thought he was joking. This entire time, I thought he was joking, but things go too far. After that, he starts telling me, "Okay, just tell me when you feel freaky," or, if you know what I mean. I said, okay. This did not feel like a joke, and I was starting to get uncomfortable, but I kept playing around, my stupid ass self. Sorry if I cuss. By the way, I recommend if you are, not okay with mentionings of things and private parts, bodies, disgusting topics like gas, burps, and body hair and so on. So that's just my quick warning for you. But anyways, I'll keep going on. After that, we join a private server in this game called Therapy. Well, my private server. And this is where things started to get bad. Well, not just yet. When we first started playing, everything was funny, and we had a great time. Until out of nowhere, he asked me, "Hey, do you get flustered a lot?" I say, "Yeah, why?" I was so uncomfortable, so confused, so weirded out by this dude. Because this dude is just really weird in this entire story. But anyways, he says, "Can I take advantage of that?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He says, "Well, what kind of things make you flustered?" I'm like, anything? Like, this is all my fault. I feel so stupid. Well, I am stupid, but anyways. He takes advantage by that by rizzing me up. Well, not really rizz, just flirting with me. Not even good flirts. It's not funny. It's not, good. He starts treating me like a dog, saying, "Oh, good girl. You want head pats?" He actually said those things, and I'll tell you more what he said. He said, "Oh, you're blushing." And he also said, "Just sit on my face and let the mouth and the tongue do the talking," if you know what I mean, which is horrifying. I'm not going to explain to you what that means. But anyways, he was also saying more things like, "Have you ever done it before?" And trying to persuade me into touching myself inappropriately. If you know what I mean, I'm sorry if I keep on saying that. I'm starting to get super uncomfortable by now. After getting flustered for a bit, like for the normal ones, I'm starting to take it as a joke. Now I'm telling him, "Can you stop? Please quit. It's making me uncomfortable. You're reminding me of my old creeps." Yes, I have had a few other creeps before who have done some things that I can't say here on YouTube because I don't want to lose my channel for it. But all I can tell you is that I've heard some pretty unsettling things from them. And anyways, as it keeps going on, he finally calms down. But then he becomes H04NY, not saying it again. If you know. And starts asking me about what I look like in real life. I take it innocently. He just wants to know what I look like. Not much to me. Oh, that's what I thought at least. He started asking more and more until I finally responded with, "Oh, my body," telling him all about me. After that, he starts to ask more about my body. And then, but this part, it's only my lips size, my butt, thighs, and boobs. Ugh. I'm like, okay. I start telling him because maybe he just wants extra details. And then he starts to gain an obsession for my boobs. He's like, "What would you compare your boobs to? Like, what object will you compare them to? How big exactly are they? Tell me more details." I'm like, okay, enough. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's talk about something else. I'm done. And stuff. He does not give up. This dude is obsessed with them so much. And then he started to rate my body, saying, "I'll rate it 8.5 out of 10. I ask him, okay, why though? And then he says, well, you're a bit too young for me. He knows I'm 11. And by the way, he said that he'll take at least a mature 10-year-old and older. No younger than that. That's what he told me. When I asked about his age in the Roblox chat before all this creepy stuff happened, before he started even showing this first single sign that he was weird. Like, so are you gonna sit on me? If you know. By the way, just a bonus I forgot to mention at the start. This is his probably millionth alt account because that's what he told me. He said this alt has nothing on it and he's probably gotten banned before for doing the same thing to other people, I'm guessing. But anyways, I'll keep going. He started to, say, well, I really like chubby girls too and body hair. And I'm like, okay. I have nothing, there's nothing wrong with body hair, I mean, but it sounds a little bit weird, don't you think? I don't care if you have body hair, it's completely normal. But apparently, this guy was obsessed with body hair. But anyways, I'm like, okay. And then so, he starts saying how I'm gonna be nice, hot, sexy, and plump when I get older. And he's still trying to ask me more about my boobs and saying, what object will you compare them to and stuff like that. It gets annoying and I'm telling him to stop. Until he asks for like face reveals. I said, no, that's too far. My mom's gonna kill me. And then he's like, well, I can offer you my Google account for your face. You can just change the profile picture and then I can see your face and you can see mine too. And I'm like, no. He even made me download this app called, I forgot the name, but it was a music app and he wanted me to download it so I could change my profile picture to my face so he could search up my account and then look at it, if you know what I mean. But this dude does not give up. He is determined to see my ugly ass. Until I'm like, oh my god, why did I do this? Why did I get myself into this mess? I hate this, I hate myself, you know, feeling regretful. I'm trying to make him feel bad for it too, since I'm too scared to be honest or something. And then he's like, hey, whoa, stop, I'm sorry. I'm hypersexual. And, well, that's what he actually said. I'm a little bit hypersexual too, so I can't be rude. And I wouldn't even in the first place, even if I wasn't. But, that's not an excuse. This dude is a literal psychopath. But it gets worse. He randomly says, after we make an agreement and promise that he's not going to talk about that stuff anymore and not be weird or inappropriate with me and he's just going to stay my friend, you know. Then he says, maybe when we trust each other more, we can both do a face reveal and voice reveal. By the way, I forgot to mention that he was also asking for my voice. And I said, dude, really? And, well, after that he asked, hey, do you ever get gassy? I said, no, why? I was confused, weirded out. And then he says, well, I just find it interesting that some people get really bloated like every day and some don't. And burps are also interesting too and stuff. I was like, oh, so you like science? He said, no. I said, oh, so you like learning about the human body? He said, kinda. And he's starting to yap me to death about them. I'm like, okay. I'm confused, but he just likes learning about the human body, so what's wrong with that? I mean, it's normal, but it's still kind of disgusting for most people. Well, almost everyone. But anyways, as things gets worse, Winnie, my best friend, I was on a call with her at the same time, and by the way, he also had to get freaky, horny again out of nowhere, and said, "You're a cutie." But anyways, as she joined, when I was on a call with her explaining her everything after he had called me a cutie, she saw that too. She joined. I was pretending like she wasn't supposed to join in the first place just so he could fall for the trap. And then he falls for it, but just starts to ignore me because I also have to go AFK until we're both like, leaving the game after Winnie is saying, "Why would you do that to her? How dare you? You're a horrible person. You're disgusting. You're probably 80 behind that screen." And he's like, "No, I'm actually 14. So, you can't do anything about it because it's not illegal. I'm not that older than her." And then we're both just like so mad. By the way, I am a transgender guy, like female to male, so please don't refer to me as a girl, despite people treating me and calling me a girl. No one seems to understand. But anyways, we leave the game. I unfriended him, blocked him, reported him. And then on this app, I texted him, "Get reported, get blocked, get unfriended, you weirdo. I don't know if I should forgive you or not. I'm gonna make a video posting about you, saying how much of a horrible person you are." And then he said, "Blood probably has like 2 subs. And I said, "No, I have more than 100 subscribers who agree with me, relate to me, talk with me, who even share me their own stories about creeps themselves." And guess what? I'm sure he got banned because I not only reported him once, but twice. First time was in Roblox, not in any game. Second time was in the game. Make a friend. He didn't answer. No answer. Here, I'm going to check right now. Well, it's still the same. Wish me luck with him. Hope he doesn't text me again. It's been a few days since he last answered. But I don't really know what else to talk about. But goodbye, guys, and this is why you should never trust people online.